Hello, this is Mahan Didia. We continue to look at liquid formulation in this submodule. This submodule builds on to composition of formulation and also quality by design. In pharmaceutical development, it is common to use different level of formulation based on the knowledge gained during the drug development. These are clinical study formulation. The formulation in clinical studies are to establish formulation safety and efficacy. It starts from early phase formulation to late stage commercial development. Let's look at what are clinical trials. This is a video from NIH.
Clinical trials are studies by scientists that test new ways to prevent, detect, diagnose, or treat disease.
Scientists ask volunteers to help test new medicine or ways of doing things during these trials.
Some of the things that clinical trials test include
new drugs, such as painkillers,
medicines that lower your blood pressure,
or treatment for cancer,
new vaccines,
and formulation used in clinical studies for both cosmetic and generic drugs versus new drug development are different. For generic drug, clinical studies provide key data on drugs' bioavailability and suitability of generic drug, and it's compared with the reference or brand drug. Formulation in this kind of clinical trials are commercial formulations for both test drug and reference drugs. The number of patients or subjects are from about 24 to 100. For cosmetic formulation, clinical studies are designed to provide key data for claim substantiation. Generally, commercial formulations are used. These studies are small with 30 to 50 persons in the clinical trial. Formulation in clinical studies of new drugs are divided into phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. Purpose of clinical study for new drugs varies according to the phase. Formulation in different phases are different. They are also being developed in parallel. Phase 1 study is a safety and drug levels in body fluid that is called human pharmacokinetic study. Oral formulation, particularly liquid formulation, often have better bioavailability than other types of oral formulations such as tablets or capsules. Developmental formulation in phase 1 range from powder reconstituted in solution itself, capsules, dermatological development, solutions applied to the skin. Phase 2 studies assess drug safety, drug metabolism, and collects information on efficacy of the drug. In this case, optimized formulations are used. Formulations are scaled up to a pilot with quality by design concept embedded within the development. Phase 3s are large-scale in patients. These studies provide key information for registration of the new drug. Pivotal clinical trials provide key data on efficacy and formulation and drug product. Studies generally are conducted with final commercial formulation and has established quality of the product. Quality in this case contains all three components: QBD, quality control specification, and stability. Phase 4 studies are commercial drug that are done for additional studies, and commercial products will be used. Let's look at in this video what are the clinical trial phases. So clinical trials involve humans. They're divided into 3 phases: 1, 2, and 3. And if The phase one was fewer patients, in this case, cancer studies is shown, so less than 30 patients will be involved. Goal is to see which type of dosage form is effective and is drug available in human body and what kind of effects it has. If it's successful, it moves to phase two. For the cancer patient, about 100 patients will be involved. Efficacy will be looked at in different models. And if this is successful, it will move to phase three, where thousands of patients will be involved. Let's look at examples of cosmetic and pharmaceutical studies and the formulation used to evaluate the efficacy. In this case, efficacy of anti-aging serum is looked at. This is a double-blind comparative parallel randomized controlled single center clinical trial. What it means, the patients don't know the products they are given. For this particular study, anti-aging daily serum AADS, and then sunscreen is applied after the application in the morning and reapplied every 2 hours. Study cell 2, first AADS and then anti-aging facial moisturizer is applied. Different product is applied, then sunscreen is applied in the morning and reapplied every 2 hours. So these are the two different groups. The patient could be in either of the groups. They are randomized and they are conducted parallel. They do not cross over. 28 female subjects aged 30 to 60 were enrolled. Information is published in clinicaltrials.gov and has been published in literature. The results show that formulation of anti-aging serum composed of botanical extract of sunflower sprout extract, SE, bioavailable peptides, antioxidant, postbiotics, and short and long-term moisturizers. Results showed statistically significant improvement was observed after 7 days of daily use of AADS or in combination with AAFM moisturizer. So this can be used in a label claim substantiation. Clinical studies to evaluate pharmaceutical products are different. Brand Palexia is used. Drug is already approved in adults. In this case, it is to see the effect of drug to treat moderate to severe pain in children 2 to 7 years old. Study is an open label trial. Patient, in this case children, no drug they're being administered. It's a multiple dose pharmacokinetics. That means the blood level of the drug in children is looked at. Blood level profiles of tapentadol, active drug, and its metabolites are looked. Multiple dose of oral solutions can be given from 1.2 milligram per kilo of body weight every 4 hours up to 72 hours in children. Children have gone through a procedure with a painful event that produces acute pain and requires strong analgesic. Let's look at the study design. This is a clinical study design of efficacy of the tapentadol in hospitalized patients. That means children 2 to 7 years old are hospitalized during the study. Visit 1 is enrollment, and guardians have to fill out informed consent form ICF. Once the eligibility is confirmed, they are allocated to treatment. This is the beginning of their painful event. Treatment dose 1 and continues up to dose 20. Blood samples are taken at different time interval. End of the treatment, blood samples are also collected. Treatment can continue and is evaluated up to 4 days. And end of treatment is also evaluated. Follow-up visit, either physically at the site or by telephone, are conducted at day 14. The formulation of the tapentadol, in this case, 4 milligram and 20 milligram per ml. 20 milligram per ml is the commercial formulation. It is clear and colorless solution with pH between 3.5 to 4.5. Shelf life of unopened bottle of Nucenta or Tapentadol oral solution is 5 years. After the opening of the bottle, it must be discarded after 6 weeks. This is designed for children between 2 to 7 years old. It has active sodium benzoate is preservative, citric acid, pH, sucralose is a sweetener, sodium hydroxide is adjustment of pH, flavor, and purified water is a solvent. It is packaged in high density polyethylene bottle. Each bottle of oral solution is provided with a dosing pipette and an adapter. The syringe is inserted in the adapter and amount can be withdrawn. Let's look at the tapentadol PK blood level and adverse event. In this case, tapentadol and two metabolites are being looked at it. First dose only, all the subject is shown here. As you can see, drug reaches the maximum concentration and then it declines. Similarly, metabolites increase and then slowly decline over the time. Multiple dose kinetics is shown here. Adverse events recorded, and it was well tolerated in children. The adverse events were similar to that were expected. Here the concentration after the sixth dose. So dose 1 is collected and then profile is collected. This is seventh dose, dose 14. This type of information is collected in pharmaceutical development to show that drug it reaches effective concentration. Safety studies are conducted and efficacy parameters are also looked at it. This is typical of pharmaceutical products, commercial ready formulation.